Okay, December 6th. Is it December 6th? Yeah, no, December 8th, 2021. Right, so the last few days have been rather challenging, complicated, tough. Yesterday was tough. Today was even tougher, but it wasn't that tough yesterday. I just screwed it up. I hit my goal and then messed it up over here. But today, um, today was tough. I traded the ES and the NQ, mainly the NQ, but I started with the ES and then switched to the NQ. And I really should have just stuck to the ES, um, and just really kind of had a goal of what I should have been doing. So what I'm going to do today um, is go over how I traded the day, what we had. So, I mean, I always show the Globex chart, but I'm realizing that it wasn't really that. Was it? I don't know. Was it useful? It was kind of useful but not useful, if that makes sense. Um, I don't know. So, see, some people use the Globex chart and they only trade the Globex chart. Um, but I'm learning, I'm still trying to figure out whether to trade the Globex charts or not. But I'm thinking maybe it's best to just, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to trade this. Because sometimes I look at the Globex and I'm like, okay, I can see what's happening. From the Globex perspective, you see we've had this really strong rally. We pull back, made a new high. So this is a very major swing high. Pull back, wasn't a major swing low, but another high, another high. So this is like the wedge, right? And then from this point, we now reversed. One, pull back. This is like the double top. So this is the new one, pull back, two. So we broke this low, which is why I say this isn't major, because we broke this low. So this is like one, two, and they made a new high. So this is a new major high, right? So what price action traders would normally do is they would normally do that. So at this point, you're in this bear trend and there's a bear channel. This is using the Globex, obviously. So this is the first high, pullback. Second high, this isn't a pullback, pullback. Third high, pullback. The point is now you have a wedge. Think about it this way: one, two, and this is the third. So maybe 1, 3. So that's the way of looking at it from the Globex perspective. Yeah. However, if you are looking at it from the perspective without the Globex chart, this is how you would read it. Now, when I was trading this today, I got slightly confused. So price, let's actually go bar by bar. So price opened up. You had a doji bar, a really big doji bar, 12 points or so. Next bar was a really nice big bar. So at this point, I was expecting, okay, fine, if we break the low of this bar and form another bar, we're in a bear trend, right? Because that will be a breakout. But instead, the bulls bought this bar really aggressively. So we have made a new high. Okay. So I counted this as 1, 2. I was expecting a third high. Didn't get one. I went long here. I thought I would just get out of the next high. And my exit, when I went long, was going to be, let's pull back. So my exit was going to be here, this level. I thought price would reverse at this level. So that was where I was targeting. Funnily enough, my initial stop was going to be, and it's funny because now I look at it, if I had held on to my stop, things would have, my initial stop was going to be there. But I realized I was risking too much, because if I had, from here to here was 25 points, That was a bit too many points for what I was aiming for. Yeah, 25 points was just way too many. 10 points I could take a trade with 10 points and walk away, but 25 points I can't do that. But that was where that was where I kind of put my risk, my stop. All right. So obviously what had happened was I'd miscounted that based on yesterday's trading range, and I didn't use the Globex chart. And this is why I asked the question now, do I use a Globex chart? Do I not use a Globex chart? So if I don't use a Globex chart, this is the first high, second high, third high. Okay, so this is the wedge from here, here, and here. Okay, so this is the reversal. So this is your signal bar to go short. Below this bar, put your stop here, 2 legs down, 1, 2. This would have been a good one. So say I had gone short, would I have gotten, yeah, you could have gone 10 points. All right, so that was one way of doing it. Anyway, so what happened was I was already long here, held, was going through this. I averaged down, I mean, I only entered with 2 contracts. I was here, brought my average price for a while here. So I was just kind of hovering around, in profit coming down. And what was happening was it was very emotional seeing this come up, then come down, come up, then come down. And I kind of didn't expect that to happen. I noticed, okay, fine, we may have a wedge here. We may have, we have a tiny wedge here, so we should retrace. And we did. But it was a double top. It was just a pullback, right? And that was kind of disappointing. I was like, okay, I should get out. I should probably get out at this point. But I couldn't exit in time. And this bar just dropped. Came back up. Came back down, 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 up. And at this point, I noticed we kept on rejecting the moving average. So I thought, okay, maybe we might double bottom. Maybe this is the wedge. This is a low of day. Maybe this is it. It just did that. And then it broke the low. And I thought, okay, maybe it's this. Went up, came down again, down. I was like, this is not working out. Maybe we have a bear trend from the open. This is not working out. And of course, we have a demand area here. And this was actually the bottom of the range, obviously. This bar came out, went up, I bought it, and I got out over here. I was very disappointed. Because actually what happened was I exited here, then I went in here again. And you see, sometimes you ask yourself, why do you do things like that? And that's something I need to work on, because there are lots of times when I exit and then I enter at the same place, and I'm just like, ugh, why did I do that? Had I held everything, I would have made back everything here. But I was so disappointed. I thought we had a bear trend from the open. I thought we were just going to make lower low, high, lower lows. We go here, rejected the MA, and I just thought, I'm not even ready for that. I went to the NQ and started trading the NQ. Because on the NQ, at the same time, I was more convinced with the NQ. We're just kind of chopping around, but we kept this low. I wasn't even counting legs. All I know is, I was okay with it. And I thought, okay, maybe we might get a bear trend on the ES, but on the NQ, we're going sideways, right? So, yeah. I traded this a bit better. I caught this leg. I didn't catch it all the way to the top, obviously, because I was mostly in the ES. And then when we got here, I couldn't get my profits out in time. And this bar just came down. I was very disappointed. Kept on going down, getting down. I think I was in long. I was looking at this lower time frame chart, and this is where things started to get a bit confusing, and I was just not trading right, because I found myself forcing trades. Not forcing trades, but feeling the need to trade, as opposed to trying to figure out what the market was doing. So you can imagine you're looking at this. Whoops. Imagine you're looking at this, and you just have this printed, and then this comes down, and you're like, oh, we're going down 1, 2, we're going down again. We've got this wedge, but it just looked like one big spike, and then are we going higher? And I was just not reading the price the way I wanted, the way it was, what was happening. I knew one thing for certain though, there are buyers here and there are sellers here. So I said, okay, do I just wait till it gets here and then sell? And every time I sold, it failed. Sold again, got here again, new high. So I thought, okay, maybe we have this wedge. Sold, failed, made a new high. Then I remember I charted a supply area over here. Oh, where's the chart? Here we go. I charted a supply area here. So this didn't work, came up here, and then it sold off. So I started catching some of the price. I was already red at this point. I was still red. You know, we had this nice wedge, came down here, got out here, you know, made some money. Essentially what happened was I caught this short. Over here was doing well, and took half out here, and then when we came here, took out the other half. So I didn't really do this. Didn't even wait for the second pullback because I thought, you know, you've been seeing this happening. You just thought this is probably going to happen again. Basically, that was the clue. That was the hint. This wedge had failed. Well, had it failed? One, pullback. Two, we hadn't reversed the trend. And then we just carried on again. And I hadn't even thought about what was actually going on. It didn't occur to me that most of the bars were above the moving average. It's actually a lot easier with the ES, if you look at the ES. And this is something I've just picked up now. I always tell my friends, whenever you're trending, we're always using the moving average as support. And that's exactly what was happening here. We're in a bull trend. Every wedge was failing. So if you think about it, from the Globex perspective, one pullback, two pullback, three. So you had a wedge from down here to here, right? And this was a credible buy. So this should have been a really good buy to get in. Targeting maybe high of day, possibly. But what's even interesting is you see this. 1, 2, 3. Wedge failed. You only really got one leg. Well, you can say 1, 2. You only got 2 legs and it failed. So what does that mean? It means we're in a bull trend. And that's what I need to remember now. Whenever a wedge fails, we're in a bull trend. I mean, could target that high, but the point is I just put this here, so we got the measured move target there. And then wedge failed again. And of course, each time. And I know every time I'm in a bull trend, this is what I should expect. You're in a bull trend, all wedges are going to fail. And that is something, that's the first thing I learned today. I think also because we're above the MA, we haven't tested the 60 minute chart MA. So yeah, all wedges are going to fail. And we're always testing the MA, always testing the MA. How many bars do we have closed below the MA? Next to nothing. This says something. This says a lot, actually. And maybe what I could have done was just taken it long here, put my stop here, and then just, you know, gone for a swing. After all, this wedge had failed. This would be a good entry, long, above this bar. But I wasn't reading it like that. You know, at the time, this is what I saw. I wasn't reading it as in there's a chance it could be in a bull trend. I think I need to think about those possibilities. So that's a lesson learned today in trading this, because this was so hard to trade. Looking at it now, in hindsight, it looks very straightforward, but it wasn't easy to trade. There were wedges here, like it wasn't easy to trade. And I'm very interested to see what, I'm going to have a look now, at what Al Brooks has on his blog. Because I think, you know, it'll be very interesting to see his own thoughts on today, because I was part of his trading room today. He had a different, I think he bought that low and traded it, and he had a really good, you know, but just seeing what he's had a look again. So one, let's see, this is a failed, oh, that was a breakout there. I should just seen that. Did I miss that? Yeah, there was a breakout here. So that too, there. Okay, so there was a breakout there, up onto that point. Now, of course, because wedge failed, that was the breakout, and then we went for, my goodness. And then what else did we have? We had a double top, bad sell signal bars. Yeah, they weren't very good, so couldn't really use that. Minor reversal, wedge bottom, Okay, so that was a wedge he saw. There was just a bigger nest. There's a nested wedge. Some really good options here. Double bottom, did not even notice that. That means clearly I was not focused. Normally I would notice that. I would notice these double bottoms. Did not notice that. Body gap, I'm not very good with body gaps yet, so I'm going to look into that. And then this big massive wedge here. This looks like a triangle actually. Oh, what is this? This blue line. Breakout test, no. Bull channel. Second breakout test. Wedge top, failed. Wedge top. Consecutive wedge signal bars. Yeah, but these wedges failed. You can see you sold them and you just were able to get a good, just a small scalp out of them if you were scalping. And I guess if you were scalping all the wedges, so if you took 1, 2, oopsie, you took 1, 2, and 3, and then you scalp this wedge, would you get 2 points? No, you just get 1 point. I don't like just scalping for 1 point. If I'm going to scalp, at least I'll get 2 points, but 1 point is just nothing. Here, the same thing, bear bar on its low, you get 2 points. Well, actually, you do get 2 points on this one. All right. Anyway, so then you have this big massive bar, kind of signal the end of the trend. I really have a bit of studying and learning to do. I may paper trade tomorrow, but then there's the other aspect of my trading that I'm learning, which is maybe it's best to just kind of try and seek out, test of support, test of resistance. Resistance being a high of day, see how we play around that. This was a test of the Globex low. And then when we came down, the test of yesterday's low. And then we had this wedge, which was perfect. This was a good entry to go long. You can see we tried this wedge, which is what I just did here. And the signal bars are just not that great. You had an inside, yeah, an inside bar here. Breakout mode here. Could have scalped this for 2 points. This was actually not bad for 2 points. So yeah, paying attention to that would have been nice. Do we have another inside? Looking at this, any more? No. Ah, here we go, inside bar. So this would be another one for 2 points. We got 3 in that one. So if I had done some of that, that would have been good. But it's just difficult when you're not thinking of doing that. So that would have been a good one. This again, another good one. And then this is as well as a good long entry. Any more inside bars? This looks like an inside bar. Yeah, this is an inside bar. It's actually another one. So you can have gotten 2 points on this. And this actually gave you, I think, a few more. So I normally go for 10. So 2, 4. You have this long. So this I would have gone for at least this leg. Could have been done. All right. So tomorrow I'm going to try and do that. Anyway, that's my trading for today. It's like I said, it is very challenging watching these bars print and trying to find entries. Also, my Ninja Trader was acting up. It wasn't acting in the way I wanted. I think also I need to be aware of the fact that once we're above the moving average, I need to sort of focus on longs, see how we trade around that. I'm going to do some, back testing or research, see how it is when we're around the moving average to make decisions based on that. Okay. All right. That's my trading day.